Welcome everybody to the 2024 Discount Tire Open Enrollment Benefits webinar. Today is Thursday, October 12th. It's 3 days so far into open enrollment. So for Discount Tire, open enrollment ends October 27th, which is why we're making this presentation today. The purpose of today's session is to put you in a position to take action. And we're going to start with the health insurance component because there are a number of pieces there that are important to be aware of and things to put you in a position to take action, to feel confident about decisions as it relates to your health insurance. From there, Discount Tire has tremendous benefits. So there are a number of areas that we're wanting to highlight that are available to you. So if you're aware of these options, then you can benefit from all of the efforts that Discount Tire makes towards offering robust benefits. As you can see, my name is Chris Rawson. This is my colleague Brian Bly, and we're gonna walk you through the materials. So let me start with this document here. We're gonna start with health insurance. So within the health insurance, you have two choices, the Choice Plus plan and the HSA plan. If I show you within the website, that is here. So we've taken this material, your Choice Plus plan, which is the more traditional plan, versus the health savings plan, and broke down the three components, well, actually four with the company contribution for the HSA, but it's the premium, the deductible, and the out-of-pocket maximum. Those are three key components that drive your cost when you're making a decision as it relates to your health insurance. So this Excel file breaks this down for each of you, and we looked at the wellness premium. You have a wellness premium and a regular premium. So the numbers that you're seeing here are based on wellness premiums. And we gave you a reference of employee only as well as family. The presentation that Brian and I are going to make to you is going to focus on the family premiums and deductibles as a reference. If your family dynamic is different than that, then the premiums will likely apply to you, just in a slightly different measure. So let me start with premium. And Brian, please interrupt me or add as I may be missing any details. So the Choice Plus plan is the traditional plan. You have a higher premium. So for families, your total annual cost for this plan is $6,279. For the health savings plan, your premium is just under $1,700 less. That's the purpose for this. So it's $4,583, roughly. So you're saving money on the premium by being in the health savings plan. The other unique difference is that the health savings plan comes with a company contribution. So the employee only is $500. For the family, you're getting $1,000. So in this bottom line here, when you evaluate the premium and the company contribution, there is an initial savings of just under $2,700 from a built-in cost perspective. Next, we come to the deductible. So the deductible is the first component that you have to contribute. The traditional plan has a lower percentage. So when you go to the doctor, it's a much lower number. When you go to the doctor on the health savings plan, those costs start working towards the deductible. And so the deductible here is $4,000. From there, and anything, Brian, that I to sort of highlight further as it relates to the difference of the deductible or
I know you'll be getting into it a little bit further on the prescription side, but both medical and prescription. So the important thing, differential between the Choice Plus and the Health Savings Plan is the Choice Plus tends to have flat rates for preventative care visits, medical visits, where the Health Savings Plan, it's fully out of pocket until, like for medical visits, fully out of pocket until the deductible is met. So, and that's one thing we'll elaborate a little bit more on here further.
and so from there so there's this sort of like continuum of care and like how much do you use it or how much do you not use it. When you go to the very end, if you have a year where something happens, you're really using the plan, there's a car accident, for example, this number here is your out-of-pocket maximum. This is the maximum that you could possibly spend on the plan altogether. So when you take and notice this number is the same. So the out-of-pocket maximum is the same on both plans. So when you factor in your out-of-pocket maximum plus your premium, that's what you get this number, $13,279. Here again, the out-of-pocket maximum is the same. And the fact that the company's making an HSA contribution and your premium's lower, your max potential cost here is just under $2,700 less. So from an actual use perspective, well, we're not planning on using the plan. Of course, we're not planning on an accident, but that's why we have it. You would save money here. Or if you're otherwise healthy, and say, I don't really use the plan. Prescription's important. We're going to get into the weeds on prescriptions next. But if you're generally healthy and you use the plan on the what if, or I go to the doctor once or twice a year because I have a sore throat and I need to get a Z-Pack or something, then likely your health savings plan is going to be better because I'm not going to incur $2,700 worth of use. A doctor's visit on the high deductible plan's about $150, $160. So if I don't go to the doctor 10 times, then I'll be getting ahead on the HSA plan. Okay, let's get into the weeds on prescriptions. And I'm going to shift my screen here as a reference. Brian, you want to walk us through this one?
Sure. So for the UHC Choice Plan, as you can see, there's different tier prescriptions. Everything's a flat rate for retail and mail order. Now, when you go to the health savings account, you'll see 80% copay there, or 80% paid by company. However, the asterisk is very important because that's after the deductible is met. So basically, you will be paying fully out of pocket for prescriptions, regardless of the tier that your prescription may be in, 100% out of pocket up until that deductible amount is met for the HSA.
Mm-hmm. And so coming back to this visual that we prepared here, so that if you have high prescription costs, so we know someone who has rheumatoid arthritis, the prescription for rheumatoid arthritis is like over $1,000 a month. And there have been these diabetes medications that have really come to the forefront. So things like Ozempic, Jardiance, Mounjaro is less expensive, but these are $1,000 a month. So if you or someone, one of your colleagues, even yourself or a spouse, this has been in the news here, and you're on an HSA plan and you're finding that your costs are quite high, it may be worthwhile to shift to the Choice Plus plan to see how it would affect your premiums. We put in here what it says in the material is call this advocate. So this is supposed to be for advocate for me phone number. It's on the back of your ID card. So you can get an idea of, okay, my doctor mentioned Ozempic to me and then said it was $1,000. So I said, no. Well, let me see. Does it make sense to go to my Choice Plus plan? And can I save money in this process? Because what we're trying to quantify is this number here, this $2,700 number plus somewhere between, reaching this deductible and the out-of-pocket maximum. So anyhow, I don't know if that last, let me pause here. Brian, other thoughts, comments that you want to add to provide some color to this?
So kind of try to summarize what Chris was saying there. So
Thank you.
The HSA plan, as long as you're not going to anticipate occurring, and of course prescriptions might be regular, but if they don't exceed 2,700, which is really the difference between the premium and the company contribution to the HSA, you'd be better off on the HSA plan. However, once you get above that 2,700 threshold, in between where you get, somewhere up to the out-of-pocket max, because you're paying fully out of pocket under the HSA plan, as opposed to the set dollar amount under the Choice Plus plan, there will probably be some personal calculations, calling your HC, let them know what your particular prescription is. There will be might be some personal decisions made on what makes sense just from a prescription standpoint between the HSA and Choice Plus. Just because once you hit that $2,700 out-of-pocket threshold, there will be kind of a area up until the out-of-pocket max where the Choice Plus plan makes more sense from a dollar perspective.
Thank you. A couple of notes here to just expand a little bit further on the health savings account. The family limit for the health savings account increased to $8,300 for next year. For those folks who are over age 55, you can contribute an additional $1,000. This helps reduce your taxable income. So Discount Tire is also very generous from a salary and an income perspective. So most folks who are watching this presentation have a healthy income. So your ability to have strategies to reduce your taxable income are important. The other piece to consider is considering funding your HSA in a lump sum. You do not have to fund your HSA through payroll. And especially since y'all get paid weekly, it would take time to fill up that bucket. So you can make a direct deposit into your health savings account. So if you need to access your HSA earlier in the year, you have the funds available. Whereas if you funded this through payroll, you'd only have, some incremental amount available based on however far we are through the year.
Yeah. And just one point, Chris, on that. If you do fund your HSA directly, either partially or not, or fully, not through payroll, that credit will come out on the following year's taxes. So just be aware that you'll get something from the company that reflects their HSA contributions and what you did through the payroll, but then you'll also work with your CPA to quantify what you pay directly out of your own pocket or funding the HSA, and that will also be a deduction on your 2024 tax return once that preparation happens in April 25.
Yeah, it's deductible just the same.
Yeah, and one other point, Chris, on the HSA, on the age 55 and older. So the age 55 older applies to the employee of Discount Tire. So if both the employee and the spouse are over 50 or 55 or older, the spouse can actually also take advantage of $1,000 catch-up contribution. However, the spouse has to open up a separate HSA under his or her name in order to make full use of that additional $1,000 catch-up. So just a little catch. You can't have shared accounts. So if both spouse and employer are 75 over age 55 or older, only 1,000 can be done catch-up, and then the other catch-up, if so desired, can be done under a under the covered spouse's name to a separate account.
Beautiful. Okay. Let's work our way down. So just pause here for a moment. If anyone watching this has any questions about their health insurance, want to talk about your benefits, let us know. We'd be happy to visit with you about your benefits and about your individual plan. Additionally, there is a flexible spending account that's eligible for both plans. If you choose the health savings account, the flexible spending will only apply to your dental and vision out-of-pocket costs. So there's a more narrow functionality there. The difference with the flexible spending is it's a use it or lose it plan. So whatever amount you may choose, you want to make sure that that's a very specific number. And of course, the difference with the health savings plan is it rolls over every year. So if you're making all of these contributions into the health savings plan and you have a healthy year, not a lot of visits, no big deal, you accumulate these deposits in your health savings account. And over time, you can actually take part of that health savings account and invest it, whether it be in a mutual fund or any type of investment, exchange traded fund, and you can grow those proceeds to access in retirement at no cost. The growth and the distributions are tax free to you. So it's almost like a healthcare bucket that you can grow and save into. So that's another sort of highlight to the HSA. And it's important to know that you have the flexible spending available because you can save more pre-tax using this plan as well.
Yeah, and one important fact one important thing on the healthcare flexible spending account, the limit, the maximum contribution limit, it's projected for next year. I don't think they've come out with numbers yet. Projected to be 3,200 in 2024. So just take a note that contribution limit is a little bit different than what the HSA limit is, in addition to the use it or lose it aspect.
Basic life insurance is paid for by the company. It's 1.5 times your salary, but it's up to $50,000. So for most people, they'll probably meet that $50,000. And from there, you have the choice to take the supplemental life insurance. The maximum amount is you can take 7 times your salary, up to $500,000, and then $100,000 for the spouse. You would have to have evidence of insurability to do that. You fill out a form and you turn it in to the insurance company. You can get up to $400,000 guaranteed with no underwriting, no evidence of insurability. The spouse qualifies for the $30,000 and then $10,000 for a child. The premiums tend to increase every 5 years. So it does this sort of stair step thing. So, age 40, age 45, age 50, every time you reach one of those new milestones, you'll see those premiums go up. And so for people with young children, it may be worthwhile to consider an individual policy, something like a term policy, because you can get a fixed rate, say for 20 years, and you wouldn't go through 4 of those premium increases. So it's something to consider because you may end up saving on the cost over the time while the kids are young. Okay, next we come into short-term and long-term disability. These are for managers and below. So if you're a manager and you're on this call, you must elect the short-term and long-term disability. We would highly suggest that you do this. It's designed to replace 60% of your income up to $1,200 a week. So that's $4,800 a month divided by 0.6 means that if you're a manager and you have a $72,000 salary, this will cover you from a short-term disability perspective. If your salary is higher than this is the most that it will cover. And it covers you. The first 2 weeks is your vacation. Then it goes up to 6 months. After 6 months, you roll on into long-term disability. Let me move this up here. Here again, if you're a manager and below, you need to elect for this. On the long-term disability side, it bumps up to $6,000 a month. So if you have greater than $120,000 salary, this is all that it will cover. This begins after 6 months and goes up until your full retirement age. Let me pause here. Brian, anything left out on short-term, long-term?
No.
Okay. Now we get into dental and vision. Dental is 2 dental cleanings and x-rays every year. And then the vision plan was upgraded. There was a note about that in the announcement. You get your eye exam every year. Oh, your eye exam has to be 12 months and 1 day after your last eye exam. So that was sort of an interesting point. So if you haven't done anything with your eye plan, you may want to go sooner than later, because by the time you get to next year, you won't be able to get your eye exam until 1 day after today, for example. So that was, I sort of picked up on that. You get $150 credit every year for glasses and contacts, and you can flip-flop and however you want to decide to use the $150 credit. Okay. The 401k match is a 6% dollar for dollar match with a 3-year vesting. So strong benefit here, excellent savings. We didn't add any limits to this. You can, for 2023, you can save $22,500. If you are younger than age 50, if you're over age 50, you can deposit what's called a catch-up, which is another $7,500. Okay. Now we get into employee assistance program. This is a very generous benefit as well. Both the employee and family members qualify for 6 in-person or virtual sessions if they're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, relationships, loss of a family member, substance or addiction issues. There is an unlimited access to this for phone consultations. So this is available through Support Link, and wanted to highlight the value in this program here. Then there's the wellness program. You receive a $50 check for getting your physical every year. This also puts you in a position to qualify for the wellness premium, which gets you a reduction on your health insurance ongoing. Now we move into some of the important benefits, but are maybe less on the forefront. Legalese. So if you're buying real estate, it's always good to have an attorney review your documents when you're buying or selling real estate. And so for those, managers, AVPs, if you think you're going to get promoted, and likely promotion would involve a move, and you're going to be selling and buying a house, you would want to consider Legalese, so you have that attorney to help you in the buying and selling process. Additionally, your own personal estate plan. If you want to get these documents updated, this is a great way to go. And for you, probably younger folks out there, if you still get speeding tickets, it's good to have the Legalese, because you can cut the line in court and you don't have to sit there all day for your speeding ticket.
Yep. And then similar on the legalese, what Chris was saying on the buying real estate, if you get promoted or just change, you get a lateral. If you change states, and of course, each state has their own estate plan, wills and stuff. So that's where that also comes into play. You may have just updated your wills or estate plan last year, but if you get promoted and move states, then you'll have to have them revisited as well. So that's just another important feature of that.
Thank you. Okay, identity theft. This is a big one. Everybody should take this. Individual, family, I'd take this coverage. It comes with a number of benefits: antivirus, VPN, identity theft monitoring, coverage up to $5 million, transaction monitoring, cyberbullying for younger kids. And so the thing is that credit is not monitored for a child younger than age 18. So that's where there's a lot of fraud and abuse in this area. So for example, with this Aura identity theft, you sign up for the plan, you get a username and password to this service, you log in January, and you put all of that information in there so that they're tracking not only yourself, spouse, and to include the kids. So that's an important piece to this benefit here. Care at work, maybe less known, very, very important. So this applies to really two segments. If there are young kids in the family or elderly parents who need care, this is where the care at work comes in. So it'll reimburse up to 10 days for a kids camp during the summer. The kids are off, $125 a day. So if you're sending the kids to a kids camp and that's part of your routine, this is something you can submit for and receive reimbursement. If you have elderly parents and they need time and you need to take time out of your work to go and support them, there's a way to submit at the Care at Work to receive reimbursement for that time. Pet insurance. Pet insurance is good if you're inclined to opt for surgery for a pet. People feel differently about this. You can evaluate the premium. If someone's inclined to pay for surgery, which would be thousands of dollars, something to consider. Enrollment is not in Workday, so you have to go into this other link here. We're going to send out an email to everyone with the Excel file and this document for anyone who's wanting to, or for these specific benefits that are not in Workday already. Who doesn't like saving money? So this Perk Spot discount, this is separate again. You have to register for Perks Spot, but you get discounts, restaurants, different tickets. Well, it's all here anyhow. Something to consider. Discount Tire's a big company, so there's leverage there. So you leverage that network, your ability to, however often you're getting a new cell phone or whatever it may be. This is something it's worthwhile at least registering for, so you can see what you can qualify for to save. Brian, let me let you highlight this. This is
sure. So for educational, you've got the Bruce Hall scholarship, House scholarship, $5,000 per year for a student attending the four-year university, as long as they complete 12 credit hours per semester. And then those that have children that are going to a two-year community college or vocational school, they also provide $2,000 a year. So important thing to note is the deadline for new students is March 15th. And for those who have existing students that are in the program, the deadline is April 15th. So just important to note those timelines there to make sure you catch it in time. And then also there's a tuition program for part-time, full-time employees. So where there's a reimbursement up to a designated limit for those programs.
And we've seen this in action, which is really exciting. The tuition is sent directly to the university. So we've seen this happen where the funds go to the university and you receive that credit. You pay less. So it's really exciting to see. And Discount Tire has very, very generous benefits. And we just want to highlight how wonderful that is. This is the last piece that we have. I know we set 60 minutes aside for this presentation, but the purpose of it is to put you in a position to take action so that you can either take advantage of something that we, may have highlighted for you, or you can take action on the health insurance side. We spent the majority of the time on the health insurance side, and I think hopefully we covered a lot of details for you there. If you have any questions, let us know. We're happy to, learn more about your situation and comment on what might be best. So having said that, Brian, anything else you think we may have left out?
No, I think we got everything.
All right. Well, it's an honor to work for each of you. Thank you for watching our presentation. And like I said, please let us know if we can help further. Thanks so much.